So I'm here in New Orleans. I'm here for Herbalife, the #1 global nutritional brand, and I haven't been here in over 9 years. So it's amazing how time flies. So some of my experiences with New Orleans have definitely transformed. So one of my memories, I remember my family and I coming here for Christmas. My mom decided one year that she wanted us to spend Christmas in New Orleans. So we had a suite off of the French Quarter. I remember falling asleep in the cathedral for Christmas Eve Mass. I remember coming here with some friends back in, I think it was like 2001 or 2 or maybe 3. All I remember is I was in grad school at the time, mainly. And back then I used to drink. I haven't drank now for over 5 years, so it was definitely all about the typical New Orleans, you know, party scene. And one of my funniest / favorite / hilarious memories was we were in a souvenir shop. And for you ladies, you'll know, like, you know, sometimes you think there's hair on your arm. So I thought there was hair on my arm, and then I felt it move, and I didn't move. And I looked down, you guys, and I kid you not, there was a roach this effing big on my arm. And that earned me the nickname from my friend Isabel, Cat a Roach, for years to come. I'm like, listen, I don't want that to be a nickname, that's not cute. So that was one of my memories, and we definitely had fun that weekend. Then the most recent memory that I remember, so it's interesting how things change and interesting how things come completely full circle. So one of the most recent memories I remember, or the last memory I remember being here, was in 2010. I was leaving Houston as previously being an accounting, support, training, and compliance manager for over 50 locations for an oil and gas company at the time. And I had just gotten promoted to the parent company to be the chief audit exec and basically set up the internal audit department and compliance. So imagine Katrina, black and white shirt, black suits, you know, play at a minimum, laughter at a minimum, and all about compliance, all about business. Now, don't get me wrong, I love all that too, but I love to play. I love bright colors, clearly. So, and we basically, the company or the parent company was relocating me from Houston at the time to Atlanta. And we decided, my friend Isabel and I, we decided that we were going to pack up the car, because a couple of weeks before I was in India, so that's a whole nother story, that I ended up going to India, and before I left for India I had packed up my stuff and a container came and got it. And in the meantime, my mom and I went to India. I went to see one of my friends Sandeep's wedding in Chandigarh. We also got to visit Delhi, we also got to visit Jaipur, and we also got to see the Taj Mahal in Agra. And the day before we went, you guys, it was beautiful. Clear skies in January, like early January. Then the next day it was totally foggy. Anyway, I digress. And I told myself I'm going back again at some point to India, back to New Orleans. So we decided we were gonna pack up the car with the rest of my stuff and drive through New Orleans to Atlanta on the way. So we stopped, we had a good time that night. We ended up staying at the DoubleTree, and I remember, like, we got back, I think just being late out on Bourbon Street that night, and we got back late, and you could smell from a couple rooms over, you could smell weed coming into the room. And we were joking that we were gonna get high off secondhand smoke, and we went downstairs. It was probably like 2, 3 in the morning, and if you've ever stayed at DoubleTree, you know that they have those chocolate chip cookies, which I used to eat, don't eat anymore. And then also, I don't know if I mentioned this, I've now been alcohol free over 5 years, and it's amazing, you guys, how incredible I feel, and even more energy and vitality and just health than even high school, like better than high school. So we went downstairs And we told the guy, like we were joking, we called, we were like, hey, we think someone's smoking weed a couple rooms over. Like we think we're getting secondhand high. Can we come downstairs and get some cookies? Because we're hungry. So he was super, super sweet and got us like 2 containers of cookies. And we ate one of them. And then the next morning, Isabel was driving. And I had driven, I think, most of the day before. And we just started talking, etc. And, you know, just in the midst of it all, you know, she's not used to my car. Like, she's not used to certain indicators. You know, she doesn't drive it all the time. Or my car back then. I don't have a car now. That's a whole nother story. I gave up my car in January, and I had 7 different cars by the time I was 30. So a whole different story, and then realized that I didn't even want like a car. So anyway, crazy, part of the transformation. So we were driving, you know, talking, excited, yay, we're going to Atlanta, moving to Atlanta, you know, all the things. And you guys, the car runs out of gas. And then we just started cracking up. We were like, what the world? Luckily at that exact, like literally within minutes, you guys, a cop, we pull over because we're on a highway. A cop comes, pulls over, takes Isabel to go get some gas. And I'm waiting, I'm hanging out, and he comes back and I'm like, man, we don't have any cash. I want to give him something. That was super, super sweet of him. So we end up, we had an extra thing of cookies left from the night before. So we ended up giving him a whole container of DoubleTree cookies, and he was cracking up. So that's my last memory of New Orleans. Versus this time, I'm coming here, and I just got in this morning. I flew Southwest from Atlanta, and so I'm coming this time with the focus on health and nutrition and transformation with Herbalife, the #1 global brand. So you can see like total night and day from the last time I was here. Whole new Katrina, whole new focus, whole new everything, the mindset, everything. 55 pounds smaller. I lost 55 pounds, for those of you that don't know, over a year and a half between 2013 and 2014 with the help of Herbalife Nutrition, with the help of 6-pack bags, competing, all the things, getting focused, choosing healthy habits, etc. So that's why I'm so passionate about health, about Herbalife, about alignment, about your mindset. And so coming back now with this and visiting, you know, Bourbon Street during the day, walking the streets, thinking about the experiences back then, thinking about, you know, what happened back then, thinking about like focuses and choices back then. And then today I just came in, I flew in from Atlanta on Southwest, and I'm staying and chose to stay at the Quisby, which is literally about a mile away from French Quarter. And it's a hostel, you guys, but it's an incredible, incredible hostel. It's upscale, like never, like no hostel I've ever seen. And it's got like a beautiful entryway, a beautiful kitchen. You'll see some of the behind the shots, behind the scenes on my videos, and saved a ton of money, you can imagine. About $150 from today I'm staying here until Monday, and today is Wednesday, you guys. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 5 nights, like crazy savings. And right now I'm focusing on creating wealth. So this goes back to my 6-pack of wealth, and you can tune in on that on the blog, on the podcast, and the free 14-day challenge. So creating wealth, giving, saving, and investing. And then also dealing with past consequences and choices that I made with money. So that's a whole nother crazy ass transformation. And then, so what am I doing today? I checked into the hostel, I got some work done, I ended up sending out some invitations for the challenge, I ended up completing our weekly news blast, I set up several different collaborations with influencers and brands. Then I went to play. I just rode a streetcar, I'll have some shots of that. Then I ended up just going through French Quarter, and then now I'm headed to Jackson Square. So I'm gonna explore Jackson Square. And imagine, you guys, I haven't been here in 9 years. And then exploring it during the daytime is a whole new thing. Then I'm gonna have a photo tour with street art, which is gonna be absolutely incredible. And I'm super excited because they're giving back to the street artists of Atlanta, and it's a nonprofit. I found it through Airbnb. The hosts are Carlos, Laura Lee, and I forgot the third name, but I'll include the link to the experience as well. Then I'm headed to City Park to explore, which I've never gone to. And apparently it's, you know, amazing, beautiful, so many different things to see and experience. So I'm gonna head there for sunset and then head back to the hostel to get some more work done for the day. So follow along on Where in the World is Katrina.